Oh my God, this thing is going. Yeah, this thing is just a monster. It's like an animal, you know? It's ready to go at all times. And it's just fun, you know? You gotta have an SUV that's fun to drive. And I know it's expensive, but at the same time, you're getting that 700 horsepower. Now, you might think, oh, well, it's heavy, it's probably slow. No, it's not slow. This thing is quick. This thing, I've heard, they say this beats a Lamborghini Urus, which I believe, because a Lamborghini Urus, even the Performante, is not that quick. It's weird how Lamborghini just decided, yeah, let's make the Urus, and did not put 700 horsepower into it when their other cars are pretty much that, you know, power range. But it's, you know, it's stuff like that that just is interesting, for the fact that, you know, you don't know exactly what is with the car, you know, and you're going and figuring out that, okay, Lamborghini does not know maybe what they're doing or something. But this car is just so much fun. This is like a car that you get if you want to go on turns. I'll show you guys how this holds the turns too. We're going to be going on some curves and stuff, so you're going to stay tuned for that. But nah, this thing is just insane how this thing goes. Like, I did not, you know, when you drive an SUV, you don't expect it to drive like a car, but this thing drives like a car. This thing does not drive like a big SUV. And obviously it's not a 3-row SUV, because if it was, it probably would be way heavier. But this thing is just, I don't even know what to say. It's just crazy, honestly. It's like, you got this quick car that goes like super fast, and you got, it's basically a Hellcat Durango. Maybe I might be faster, because those are 710 and 707 with the Trackhawk, and this is, you know, 738 horsepower. You know, it's like big difference right there on that power number. But you know, I really do think this car is just underrated, and people hate on it. And the label red is one that nobody really knows about, because of the fact that it's just kind of under wraps, right? People kind of hated the first one, so they didn't even care about the label red when it came out. And oh my God, this thing is gone. Look at these turns. Turn around the turn, hold the turn, go. It's a race car. Oh my God, I love this thing. This thing is just crazy how quick it gets up to speed. You just go around the turn, you go. And there's no delay. The shifts are good. As long as you put in 3-dot mode, I've found the shifts to be very good. If you put it in any other, like the power levels, like 3 is the best. 2 is okay, but the shift feels slow. If you're doing manual shifting, you got to put it in 3-dot mode, because like, this thing just goes. But this thing is just an animal. I love this car so much, because like, even though it's a big SUV, it's got the power of a sports car. It has the handling, because if you go in a Hellcat Durango, it can't handle like this thing. This thing holds the corners extremely well. Like you saw there, I just was holding that corner, and I don't know how much I was going, but I was going. We were not slow on that corner, that's for sure. But okay, well, you just gotta go sometimes, you know. This car is just absolutely insane. Like, wow, I can't believe how like level this thing is too. Like, this thing keeps its traction and everything very well, and it's just, look at those downshifts. This thing's like bucking like it's a horse. You don't expect that from an SUV. You don't. You expect that from a sports car, you know, a supercar almost. And 700 horsepower in an SUV is just something to behold all the time, because no other car does that, you know. It's like no other car does this. And when you drive a car that is this much presence, even the looks, I know people hate the looks, but I think this thing adds like a statement when it comes into an area. You know, it has a road presence. It does not get unnoticed, which is definitely, if you're somebody who likes to show off cars and stuff, that's definitely going to be in your interest. But nah, this thing rips the corners. This thing, what else could you want? If you want something that's quick, this is exactly what you get. You don't go for anything else, because Hellcat Durangos and stuff are not going to handle like this. A Trackhawk probably won't. I don't think so, even though it's a 3-row. I mean, it's a 2-row SUV, but I don't think Dodge has the capacity to make, you know, those cars handle like a BMW. This thing handles like I'm on a race course. You know, I could race this thing on a race course, and it probably could do really well on a track. I mean, look at this. Oh my God. This thing just bucks. And I love it. Okay, let's go this way. It's just an interesting car concept, you know, for an SUV to be this quick. My goodness. This thing is just a missile. You know, SUVs are supposed to be for families, right? But when you take somebody in this and you bring a family along, it becomes a whole nother thing. Because this is the most insane SUV out there right now. Because like I said, Urus does not, you could say Urus, but the problem with the Urus, it doesn't have this power. So you can't really compare it with these because of the fact that the Urus isn't, you know, in this league at this point. Unless they make one that's 800 horsepower, then you could say something. But with the fact that there is no, you know, Urus out there that is this fast, you can't bring up the Urus in this conversation. You just can't. This thing will beat it. The old one, the old XM, was apparently beating the regular Urus. Then they made the Performante, and that thing is still pretty slow. I don't think it's that quick. This thing probably will beat that. I want, if somebody has one, let me know in the comments. We can line it up, you know? I want to see the actual power of this in against the Urus. Performante, at least, because I know the Urus would lose, but the Performante I'm not sure on. Not many people have done many racing with the Performante, so to be honest, let me know. But this thing, I love the way this thing drives. This thing just handles extremely well. Like, it turns, it pulls, it does everything you want without any negative problems, to be honest, unless you consider too hard of a suspension. But here's the thing, a hard suspension is going to be, you know, just, it's going to be hard regardless, you know. You're going to have a tough suspension in a car like this. Look at the X5M. I'm trying to say it. Well, I can't even say it right. There's so many now. But the X5M, right? I drove one of those. They are bumpy too. So the M labels are always M labels. What am I saying? M sport models of the SUVs are always going to have some issues, like with the suspension. That's just how they are. They're not made to be a comfortable cruiser. If you want that, you go for like an Alpina, right? Because that's more in your forte. Woo! Look at this thing go. We're going around the turn. Holds the turns very well. Look at this. Wow. Oh my God, this thing's fun. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. This thing is just an insane car. You know, BMW knows what they're doing. Even though people don't, I don't either, because I don't like the new M5 design they did or anything. But they do know how to make a car be very fast. Not just normal fast, it's just, it pushes you in your seat. Like, look at this, let me show you this pull from a second, okay? Second gear pull, right? Look how fast this is. It throws you in the seat and you're going. It's just crazy how these SUVs can handle like this. Like a supercar. Like, this is how you would expect a Lamborghini, a Ferrari to just go around turns. But this in an SUV, look at this. Look at that. You don't expect that in an SUV, ever. But you get it. Because that's exactly what this car is. It's a monster waiting to happen. It's just, it's chill when you want it to, kind of. You can kind of daily, you could daily it, definitely. It's an SUV. You daily an SUV, that's what you know you do. But it definitely has all the makings. Actually, I'll go here. Of a good SUV car, right? Look at this thing. It's just going. It just pulls. And the thing about it being that quick is the fact that you don't have any lag or anything. And the what's it called? The hybrid adds to that. And the hybrid is the part that obviously gives it a lot of, you know, justice on this. Look at this. Turning like that is crazy in an SUV. It's like a big, this thing is 6,000 pounds, by the way, plus. I think it's heavier. And I have a full loaded car at this point. It's not empty. And this thing is just playing. But I mean, if BMW knows how to make a car like this, they just make they should. What they've never done, however, is make a supercar, except the i8. But I mean, the i8 is pretty boring. They never made that into a very quick car, which is unfortunate. It could have been a really nice car, but they decided not to, you know. I'm gonna turn around somewhere. I want to go back. Okay, let's go back on the windy road, because this is a boring road. I thought this had more wind tunnels, not wind tunnels, but windiness, but it doesn't, so we'll go back. Oh my god. This thing is just fast. You put it in paddle shift mode, you got the best time of your life basically in this car. And bro, like, this thing holds the turns extremely well. To be honest, they did their thing with this car. People could talk about all the price and all this stuff, but you get what you pay for, honestly. This thing is handling like crazy. Now, one thing I don't like is obviously it's a hybrid. I don't like hybrids. I'm more of all gas, but that's kind of what BMW at this point is going towards. And I guess, you know, maybe they'll go back to all gas at some point, but the new M5 is a hybrid. This is the new engine they're putting in everything. So this is the original before that M5. So I'm basically driving an M5 in a SUV chassis. F5, M5, not F5. But I mean, this thing is nuts how this thing just goes. It's also not like horrible to daily. Like I said, it's very comfortable when you want it to, but when you want it to go, it'll go. You don't have any like boring time in this car, that's for sure. But do I think it's better than, I don't know, a Trackhawk? Even though they don't handle like this, I like one thing about the Trackhawk, and that is obviously the fact that it has the supercharger, obviously, and it's also, you know, it has a good exhaust note. This one, to me, because it's the speakers being put into the cabin, it doesn't have that same excitement sometimes, but at the same time, what are you gonna do, you know? I mean, that's what they're doing. All these European cars love to have fake speakers for some reason, but if you go and do that, you forget all about it. You forget all about it. But this thing is just, I think it's worth it, honestly. It's a fun SUV to drive, and if you daily this, I mean, I guess you're having a good time, right? You're definitely having a good time, because this thing is just an insane animal. Look at this. Yep. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully you guys like the pulls, the turn in, the little windy roads and everything. I appreciate you guys for watching, and I'm gonna catch you guys in the next one. Peace.